Hey guys, Dr. Christy Ennis. Welcome to Follow Me Friday, where motion is lotion. Today for our SI joints, we're gonna help protect it and we're gonna help strengthen around to support it. This is stuff that I do quite frequently because for a long time have had issues here, and this helps make me feel better, so I hope it makes you feel better. We're gonna start out by lying down. And you can do this in bed or on the ground, whatever is comfortable for you. Always listen to your body. We're gonna start by resetting the pelvis, actually. So you're gonna take both your hands, you can make fists here, and you're gonna squeeze those legs in as the hands push out for about 5 seconds, and then let it go. So we're doing an isometric contraction. And the next one will actually be pushing the opposite way. Again, we're just trying to reset that sacrum and pelvis to get things to be in the place that we want them to be. We're gonna do 5 of these. So this is 3. It's okay if you don't hold for a whole 5 seconds either. Making sure you're breathing and trying to let the muscles around relax a little bit. We've got 1 more. And then we're gonna go opposite. So hands are gonna go on the outside, legs are gonna push out, hands push in, same idea. If you can use your abdominal muscles here at the same time, even better, but just make sure that you're not blooping out or holding your breath. So that's 2. Whoops, I actually moved a little bit there. So when we do a real isometric contraction, we don't really wanna move, so I did that wrong, so don't do that. 1 more. This first exercise, this push in and the push out one alone can really make things feel a lot better. I do this every day and then relax. Okay, from here, if you can, you're gonna bring your legs up, making sure you engage in those abdominal muscles. So it's a little gentle belly button pull in. If this hurts or you can't keep that engagement, I'll show you how to do it with your feet down too. Back to that isometric. So my right leg is gonna push in while my right hand pushes out. And then the other side is gonna do the opposite. So this left hand's gonna go underneath my left thigh. So that leg pushes down, right? Hand pushes back out. So again, not moving here, but breathing. And then and you may have just heard that. I don't know if you can hear that through there, but that was a little crack. So I'm readjusting things and that felt fantastic actually. And again, we're just doing a few on each side. I'm only laughing because it feels good. If you can't bring those legs up, same concept. I'm pushing this leg up, I'm pushing this leg down, but I'm just doing it with my feet on the ground. And both of them work well, so whichever one feels good on your body is the good thing to do. We're gonna do 1 more with the other side. Nice. So now hopefully everything is shifted nicely for you. You're gonna bring those heels together and those toes apart. This helps open up that hip joint, and we're gonna engage multiple glute muscles as we do this. Think again about engaging in through those abs, and very gently with control, listening to your body, you're gonna lift up as high as you can without pain, and then very slowly bring it back down. This is all about control. This joint really needs the support, because if you strain a ligament, and there's a lot of ligaments involved there, then you only can really rely on your muscles to help keep things where they need to be. And these muscle groups here through the hips can be a little bit weak in general anyways, because we don't use them all the time. So really important to do this nice and slow and controlled so that we're providing that support and activating where we need to activate. That's why I am moving as slowly as I can, because if I don't, I will feel this in my back. And that's when you know you got to kind of reassess and just reassess, we'll say. We're going to do a few more of these. Oftentimes, as I go, I can actually get a little bit more motion. You can even do a Kegel here too at the same time if you want, and really get some more bang for your buck, get all that core involved. 1 more like this. Yay. Good. Oh, I can feel my legs shaking even too. All right, from here, we're gonna go on to our side with control, of course. I'm going to start with my legs nice and straight, all the way rolled on my hip. When you do this, you should see your feet, your toes, but not a lot of your leg. If you do, it means you're too far forward and we're not going to work these side hipples. That's a new word. Side hip muscles like we want to. So you're going to lift this top leg up a little bit. If you can turn that toe down, you're going to. If not, it's okay to keep it straight. And then we're lifting here. I tell people to try to aim for that heel so that you're really engaging through these side glute muscles. And use your best judgment. If you need to bring it a little forward for comfort, that's okay. There's 6. We're just going to shoot for 10. And we're going to do one more exercise on this side. 7, 8, 9. Again, nice and slow and controlled. 10. Keeping that pelvis stable is really important. From that position, we're going to just bend those knees, keep those feet together, and then lift that top leg without rotating backwards. Really important. Again, if you start to do this, now we're going to shift that sacrum, and we don't want to do that. Again, remember, think support. There's 4. Ooh, 5. Again, another good one. 6. Good thing you guys can hear all my body noises here. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. Even my friend filming made a face at that one. So it's okay as long as it feels okay. Same idea. Other side. Getting a nice straight line. Roll on that hip. Remember, you can do these in bed. I'm going to bring that leg back a little, turn it down, and then lift it on up. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more is 10. Keep those hips where they are and just bend those knees. Keep those feet together. Lift that top knee up. So sometimes it's not even a matter of strength. When we have pain, and we've had pain for a while in this back area, certain muscles shut down, including these glute muscles. So we really want to work on re-engaging them to help support us the best they can. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I am going to go back onto my back for a couple of nice stretches to open things up a little bit, and then we're going to stand on up. So to start, if it's okay, you're either going to grab behind your thighs or you're going to grab the outside of your toes. And for me right now, it's much more comfortable to do this. And I really do strongly advise you start here and then move as tolerated. But right now, if you want to add a little rock, again, sometimes that just helps rock that sacrum a little bit. If it's not comfortable, just stay right where you are. Try to let those knees open and not hold on to them. Things usually are tight and don't want to move like we want them to. So if we breathe into it and allow them to, it can make a big difference. I'm going to take one more nice breath here. And then I'm going to bring my feet to the ground, one leg at a time, again, keeping that support system. Soles of the feet together and knees dropped open. Again, really letting everything relax through the hip and the pelvis. And again, just a few breaths here. If you find any of these uncomfortable, it's okay not to do them. Do the ones that feel good for your body. And one more nice breath here. Usually I get a little bit more opening as we go. Okay, and now we're going to come into a standing position. We got 2 standing, so back flat against the wall. Bring those feet out as far as you can while keeping that back flat. And then we're going to go ahead and have a nice little seat. It's all up to your body on what feels good, on how far down you can go and how long you can hold. I'm looking at my watch. We're going to just shoot for 30 seconds for this video. Please feel free to do more. But I love this one to help strengthen the legs because the back is supported and you're even still working some of those side glute muscles to help stabilize you. So when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that you're nice and level and that you're not cheating and shifting that hip in one way or the other. And you should start to feel things working. Again, hopefully not in a painful way. We have just a few seconds left. Nice, and go ahead and come all the way back up. And then we've got one more. Ending with a stretch. You're gonna stand and, well, you should be standing. You're gonna bring those legs nice and wide as far as is comfortable. I actually tend to turn the toes in just a touch, hands on the hip. If you can tuck that pelvis under, do it. If not, don't if it hurts. But this is a great way to stretch some of the adductors and hip flexors without getting in that kneeling or single leg position. And single leg exercise really pulls on that sacrum, but this usually feels fantastic. And you just sit here and you breathe. See if you can allow it to open a little bit more as you go. Notice I'm kind of pressing a little bit more as I go too. And then sometimes I can get my feet a little bit wider, a little bit more stretch, no pain. And this is where we're gonna end with a nice calming diaphragm breath. And hopefully you guys feel a lot better. So if you have some tightness in those hips and those backs, this is where the Derma Edge comes into handy. I actually use this before and after when I do a little workout to get things moving blood flow wise and then to help calm things down afterwards. Obviously you can use it on any spot, but if we're talking about the sacrum, this is where I tend to focus, and I will link that for you guys below in the description.